Karen thought she could break me by forcing me to tear down my own home. But when the real truth came out, her entire empire came crashing down in front of everyone. It began with a letter I'll never forget, stamped in red and signed by none other than HOA President Karen. Your house sits on community land. Vacate and demolish it within 14 days or face daily fines. I stared at the notice in disbelief. This was my land, bought, paid for, and deeded in my name. Still, Karen strutted up my driveway that evening with two board members, smirking like she'd already won. You can save yourself trouble if you bring in the bulldozers now, she taunted. We already voted. This house will be gone. I tried explaining, showing her the deed and title records. She waved them off. HOA law overrides everything. Don't fight it. Weeks later, under threat of crippling fines, I was forced to begin demolition. Neighbors watched in shock as walls I built with my own hands came crashing down. Karen stood nearby, arms folded, smirking like she'd already won. But what she didn't know was that I had filed every notice, every fine, and every threat with the county registrar and state attorney's office. I wasn't just documenting, I was building a case. On the day the last wall came down, Karen arrived with champagne in hand, ready to celebrate her victory. That's when the truth exploded. 3 black SUVs rolled into the cul-de-sac, lights flashing. Out stepped state investigators, county surveyors, and even a federal land officer. One of the officials held up a massive folder. Karen, your HOA just seized private property illegally. This land never belonged to you. In fact, the HOA office itself sits partially on his lot. Karen's smirk vanished. Neighbors gasped, and then came the hammer blow. You will be investigated for fraud, extortion, and abuse of power. Effective immediately, you are removed from the HOA board. I looked at the rubble of my home, but for the first time in weeks, I smiled, because the county also announced that Karen's HOA fines had been illegal for years, and they were dissolving the HOA entirely. Karen didn't just lose her control, she lost everything. And me? I was granted full compensation plus the right to rebuild my home bigger and stronger than before.
I am Liam. Subscribe for more HOA madness. Thanks.